No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. So discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Smackin' Raw podcast episode 227. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here with my co-host, who's beating now Vince 2-1 this year for the title of Pornhub Poppy, Miss Katie Kinsey Bay. And we didn't come alone for the very first time on Pornhub and on the Smackin' Raw podcast. He is a superhero, a power lifter, a wrestling fan, and a co-host of the Jobber Tears podcast. It's Sir Wilkins. What's going on, man?
Hello, the beautiful world of Pornhub.
Well, Pornhub, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere you can get podcasts. But I mean,
yeah, but it's you gotta talk about Pornhub.
If you can be the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub because nobody else is on Pornhub, why not be the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub? Like, it is what it is.
It's the only way to do it.
So you just got back from a wrestling show. How was that?
It was good. It was good. House of Glory. That we had our all women's tournament to crown our new women's champion. So it was pretty fucking awesome. It is late right now in New York City. Mm-hmm. That's where I am. It is past midnight, past my bedtime, but I decided to guest appear on this amazing show.
And I absolutely appreciate it. Want you to be comfortable. I want you to be authentically you, because that's why people are going to come watch. You know, I don't want Sir Wilkins light. I know you're tired, so we'll wake you up. We'll get you into it. Katie is also on the East Coast, so she's feeling you as well.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, where on the East Coast are you, Katie?
I'm Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pitsy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I didn't know Pittsburgh was in Pennsylvania until I was 14 years old.
Really?
Yeah. I never knew that. And I was like, oh, I thought Pittsburgh was in some random place in the middle America, but nah, it was right by New York in Pennsylvania.
We're the heart of Pennsylvania, no matter what anyone else says.
Or as I like to say, the pits of Pennsylvania, but neither here nor there.
Think y'all winning this weekend? I don't watch football. I don't know.
I don't watch football either. If we win, cool. If not, oh well.
Understandable.
I know the Bears ain't doing shit, but they just fired Matt Nagy, so that's a plus.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's a good thing.
But let's talk a little bit of news and rumors. So first and foremost, one of the biggest topics this week was Kenny lashing back at fans on Twitter over some things that they were coming at him and saying, and then there was a discussion of, well, he's an EVP, he should represent himself better, and so on and so forth. I personally don't look at Kenny doing what he did the same way I look at what Tony Khan did, which was fucking stupid. Tony attacked someone that used to work for him because he didn't like criticism. Kenny was being attacked and came back at motherfuckers, which I'm not a Kenny Omega fan, but I respect that. Like, you don't come for me and expect me to just bite my tongue. Like, if you're going to talk shit, expect them to talk shit back. Like, wasn't it Dana Brooks' fiance who went to some dude's house and punched him in the mouth? Be glad Kenny didn't do that shit. Like, at least he just came at you on Twitter. Like, that's the way I see it.
Could see that. I'm not a fan of Soul Glow Kenny. Never been. I do respect him. I'm at a place of a lot of respect. So when I saw it, I was like, this is kind of funny. Because I didn't expect it from Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at all. And I was like, he must be bored at home. He must be fucking doing because he usually doesn't do this. I was like, he has a lot of fucking time on his hands right now, and he's just like, yo, fuck it. It is game time. I'm going at everybody because I am bored as shit at home right now. And that was the only reason why I think he even said anything to anybody. Now, the whole comment about him being an EVP, I don't see him as an executive. I've never seen him as an executive. I mean, he probably is. And no, he's not probably. He is.
Yeah.
But I don't see him as that. I don't put him in that same light, in that same category as somebody important. I just see him as a regular fucking wrestler. Yeah. And like I said, he was bored because he usually never does that. Like I'm telling you, he was sitting on his couch. He just finished playing some PS5 and he was like, all right, let me get some tweets off real quick. And then the responses came and he was just like, yo, fuck y'all, I'm gonna respond, because he had nothing else to fucking do.
Absolutely. And how many times can you hear the same shit about him, wrestling in a thong, wrestling a blow-up doll, or being a pedophile before you get sick of it? And you're like, you know what, fuck you. Who are you to say this to me? Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
he's got fed up and said, fuck y'all.
Shit. Huh? Say that again?
I said he's got fed up and said, fuck y'all. Like, that's it.
It's 100%. I'm not mad at it. I didn't really think anything he said was really offensive. But I'm also not as sensitive, but I don't know. So
no, I feel you on that.
It was just like whatever to me.
Yeah. We also got the MLW WWE lawsuit. MLW is suing WWE. They are talking about how WWE messed up a deal that they had with Tubi because Tubi is owned by Fox. Also, I guess somebody within WWE had insinuated to Vice TV that Vince would not be happy with the fact that they were playing MLW on Vice TV. And I believe the Vice executive's like, I'm pretty sure what you're doing now is illegal, but okay. They ended up not continuing their deal with MLW anyway. They did one last show in October, and that was kind of it. And just some other stuff where they're like, WWE's basically cock blocking this company from getting exposure on a national basis. So I posted that whole gif of Billy Madison where they were doing the business ethics thing at the end, and I'm like, this is Court Bauer right now, like calling you out on your bullshit ass business ethics, WWE, for cock blocking him. He's trying to make this company grow and do some things, and you're just out here every way possible trying to stop them from succeeding, which means you've got to believe he sees them as somewhat competition, because he's not stopping AEW. Now, also Court Bauer doesn't have Tony Khan money, so it's probably a little easier to fuck with them too. But how you guys feel about that?
WWE been cock blocking since like they've been around. Like cock blocking to the core. For guys, you ever been at the club and then you're trying to talk to a girl, and then there's that one friend that just like is not letting it happen for you. That's who WWE is. And wrestling is that girl you're trying to talk to. Wrestling media is that girl you're trying to talk to. Because when I saw it, I was like, this sounds like WWE. This is WWE at its finest. They are like the mafia. They're like, nobody else comes over here on this territory. They're like the big kingpin drug dealer that's like, yo, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. This is my block. You can't come on here at all. They block people from like doing stuff at Madison Square Garden. Does anybody not remember this? So why is anybody surprised at this? And because we actually talked about it on our show as well. Vice isn't owned by anything that like WWE deals with.
So Vice is not owned by anything WWE deals with, but I believe A&E, which did those WWE specials, owns about 20% of Vice.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does, but it's still, I personally think it was that significant. I think Disney owns more parts of it because Disney owns Vice too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it was anything, but this was WWE going, oh, we can't have more people showing wrestling on TV. This is not gonna happen. Let's shut this whole shit down. And you got streaming service because Tubi is free. That's free streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE put their dick on the table. Was like, no, this is not fucking happening.
Well, it's like you said, they're like the mob. It's like when the mob comes in and they're like, hey, so you can pay us a protection fee and we'll take care of you. But if you don't, and somebody trashes your store, that's not on us. And when you say no, 2 days later, those same people come back and break your store up. Like, that's what they're doing.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much fucking it.
I know you talked about all this last night, Katie, so.
Barely, because I was like, I read those things multiple times. I was like, I still have no fucking idea what is happening with this. But I understand it a little more now. I also wasn't really paying attention during my show. Neither here nor there. But it's like you guys have said, like WWE has been doing this for years, so it's nothing new. Nobody should be surprised at all. Like, we just have to sit back and deal with it. Oh well.
But then it raises this other question: why do we let them do this and get away with it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the other question, because we all three of us said the same exact thing. Like, literally, they've been doing this for fucking years. They're that's who they are. Blah blah blah. But we let them get away with it.
So it's kind of the same conversation, and I talked about this last week when everything with Tony Khan and Big Swole happened. I said, listen, go listen to Jobber Tears, go listen to Young Kings Wrestling, let them talk and hear how they feel about it. But in the same instance, like my boys at Young Kings Wrestling, they said they are done covering, supporting, talking AEW. Like they're done with it. They want nothing to do with them, which I understand. Like if that's how they felt. But at the same time, you've got Vince McMahon on national television using the N-word and doing all of the stuff that they're now condemning Tony Khan for years. And like you said, we just let them get away with it. And I don't know why we let WWE slide on a bunch of shit.
They have the pretty girl syndrome where we all know that girl that like she's really hot and she does like fucked up shit, but since she's hot, you let it go. And I think WWE's at that level where it's like, you know what, whatever. But you gotta call a spade a spade. WWE is extremely problematic.
It really is. And I'm glad you brought that up, because as I was driving here, like I hate Matt Riddle. Like everyone knows I cannot stand Matt Riddle. I fucking hate him. And people always ask me, what's your problem, Matt Riddle? And it was kind of exactly what you just said. So like Matt Riddle is in essence that pretty girl syndrome. Like I've known these surfer boy white stoners who think that they can kind of do whatever they want. And because they're so laid back and chill, like everything's cool, bro. Like, and they do fucked up shit and people let them get away with it. And that's part of the reason why I don't like his character. I also, my name being Matt Ritter and his being Matt Riddle, and that whole thing is fuck that guy. But anyway, for anyone wondering, as I always say, Matt Riddle's not my kind of white people. I don't fuck with him. And that's why it's that pretty girl syndrome, because people let him get away with shit because he just seems so nice and cool and laid back. And no, he's not. He's a piece of shit. Neither here nor there. We also got that AEW.
He had to get that off. He had to get that off.
I did.
He does.
I'm going to shit on Matt Riddle later when they lose the tag team title. So now everyone knows where it's coming from. AEW hip hop compilation. How are we feeling about it?
Oh, okay. The shit's going to be trash, but I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to download it. I'm going to blast it on my Bluetooth stereo. I'm going to blast it on my AirPods. But the shit might be trash. But it's okay, because I don't expect much. Now, I'm hearing a couple of people who are on like Montezi. He did our theme song. So he's actually a good writer, so I think it will be good. But I'm not expecting like the blueprint.
Right. Yeah. I was just saying, Josiah Williams, I think, is involved too, and we saw what he did with NXT and everything he did before WWE. So I'm curious, like, So do you think it's going to be better than Ruthless Aggression, or because I mean Ruthless Aggression had Ice-T and Snoop, and I mean
No, it's not. It's not going to be. I don't. There's, and we as millennials need to stop this because we need to stop comparing this time in our life, this solid 10, 15 years of professional wrestling to the current product. And
fair enough.
I get it. It was a time in our lives where things was just blissful, but it's also a time in our life where we weren't paying any fucking bills. And we were very happy living, doing basic shit in our parents' houses for the most part. And now we're in a different era and we can't compare it, but it will not be anywhere close to being better than that because these were top tier expensive artists.
Run DMC.
Yes. The motherfuckers that they have now are like, they're paying them $100 for theme songs. I know this for a fact. So no, it will be nowhere close to that album.
Oh, I still love Undertaker's theme with Mino on there. Like I still put that on constantly, and that's probably compared to like you've got Method Man and Ice-T and everything like that. Of all the tracks, like that's probably my favorite one on there. Like
the album was amazing. It was like Def Jam Vendetta, the music version for like fucking WWE. It was phenomenal, but the shit they're gonna come up is nowhere close. I think it's cool, but once again, Tony Khan is a millennial and he's trying to fucking live through that, bring back that era in his fucking head. But he has billions of dollars. We don't.
Yeah, and he's like, I got Max Caster. Let's make a hip hop album because that. Yeah, we'll talk about that because it dropped that music video tonight on Rampage, but that's neither here nor there.
I didn't see Rampage yet, but I'm gonna watch it after we get off of this.
Last two things: Corey Graves cleared to wrestle. Do we want to see Corey Graves wrestle? Nobody cares.
Like Kay doesn't care either. Who the fuck cares about Corey Graves wrestling? Who the fuck cares about Corey Graves wrestling? No offense, Corey, but nobody gives a fuck about you wrestling. Nobody gives a fuck.
I watched him get rolled up by Byron Saxton, so I don't have a lot of faith going forward.
No.
What?
No, nothing.
Oh, I was gonna say last thing. Again, not like it's news because it feels like it happens every 6 months. Sonny got arrested. Apparently, had some scissors and threatened to kill her. What it said in there was her intimate partner. I tweeted out, fucking Shanky's arms are longer than Sonny's rap sheet, but it's very, very close. Like the fact that every 6 months this woman is getting out of jail and then doing something new to get herself arrested again is ridiculous at this point. And I'm pretty sure she's still in the Hall of Fame. And I don't understand how she's still in the Hall of Fame after all of this shit. I don't get it.
But China's not in the Hall of Fame?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Well, also, Sonny didn't fuck Triple H. That's also, you have to understand.
True.
She probably wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, she fucked Shawn Michaels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Possibly Bret Hart.
I did present Sonny an opportunity to do a reality show about her getting her life together, and she definitely turned me down. Just to put that out there.
Because she had to get her life to see. That was the problem, is if you had presented a reality show about how her life's just a fucking hot mess, like, and she didn't have to get better, she might have done it, but the getting better part was the issue.
Yeah, I had a full like show idea of like Sonny with the comeback. I was gonna like train her, like to get her back into shape. She's gonna clean up her alcoholism, all this other shit. And she definitely told me no. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna pay you this money to like host my viewing party, but I could have made you millions of dollars. You could have made millions of dollars together, Sonny. You fucked up. That's your problem.
100%. All right, where do you want to start? You want to go Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage?
It doesn't matter. I'm the guest in this house. You bring the food, I'll eat it.
Well, that's how this works. Is I always have the guests guide us through the show, so I could run down SmackDown and Rampage since you didn't watch them yet. We can get those out of the way real quick.
Run that down since I didn't watch it, but
All right.
I'm actually gonna watch some more when I get off of this.
All right, so let's hit Rampage real quick. That'll be quick. So we kick it off. Adam Cole defeats Trent. We got Britt and the Super Duper Clit ringside, along with the Average as best friends. They all start brawling to the back, allowing Cole to get the cheap win over Trent. Sean Spears has an enhancement match for some reason, cuts a promo on Punk, basically trying to put himself over, comparing himself to CM Punk. He's like, I'm as good as CM Punk. If I traveled all the same roads and did all the same things. I don't know why you guys like him better than me. And then threatens Punk for their match at Dynamite next week. The Acclaim dropped a diss track video on Sting and Darby, where Max Caster alluded to turnbuckle power bombs and Sting's bad knees, and they dressed up Anthony Bowens as Darby with the face paint and the writing on his chest. So that was a thing. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but Chris Statlander, Layla Hirsch, and Red Velvet lose to Nyla, Penelope Ford, and the Bunny, with the Bunny getting the pin. Ricky Starks talking shit on commentary about Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal comes out, challenges him for the FTW title that nobody gives a shit about. And in our main event, Tiny Hands and Reynolds Wrap lose to Jurassic Express.
First things first, I can't stand Jurassic Express.
Really?
I really don't like Luchasaurus. I can't stand that damn gimmick. I've put it online before, and I might be one of the very few people that like are on that wave of like, this is stupid as shit. This is not 1991 WWF, and we need to cut this shit out. But if it works for them, it works for them. What else we spoke about? Sean Spears and CM Punk. I don't know where the fuck that's going, but that's probably connected to the MJF story. So you know, MJF, Warlow, Sean Spears. But once again, that this feud could be a whole lot better. I said it on my podcast. The thing about AEW, a lot of times they give the bare basics when it comes to feuds.
Yeah.
It's a conversation, a fight, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I need a lot more, but then again, that works for them. It works for their fan base. It works for the people that they do it. I love wrestling, so I'll still watch it because I love they'll put up some fire fucking matches. What else? What else we said on that one?
Well, I did forget to do this. So for any of the Jobber Tears listeners who are new to the Smackin' Raw podcast and said, what the fuck is Sir Wilkins doing on Pornhub, and came over here, what we'll do is I do the rundown, and then we'll do what we're spitting and what we're swallowing. So these are the things that you heard that you didn't like. So these will be your spits. Yeah. So you're spitting Jurassic Express and specifically the Luchador Dinosaur in general. And definitely don't give a shit about CM Punk and Spears. It is what it is. Yeah. I will tell you that in that, because you said the wrestling, they do have a great series at the end with Alex Reynolds and Tiny Hands and Jungle Boy, where they got a really, really close 3 count. That was really, really nice, but it was mostly spots. Like, it was, the whole match was just spot after spot. So.
Which is never a bad thing. What did you think, Katie?
So I love Jurassic Express.
Of course.
Listen, they're entertaining. And I think it was a good. Do you
like them, or do you just think Jungle Boy is?
I mean, he's very pretty to look at, but no, I love them as a tag team.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a luchador dinosaur. Like, that's fucking cool.
No,
I mean,
it is.
So that's your thing. You like mints with chocolate on it. That's your thing. Yeah. That's what it is. It's a Lucha dinosaur, like mints with chocolate on it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying, huh? Because it doesn't really go together, but it goes together. So, Lucha dinosaur.
I don't though. No, Luchasaurus is what we all wanted Barney to be as kids. Like, he's a dinosaur who can kick gas.
Who wanted that, Katie?
I don't know. I'm
Who
trying
said
to
they wanted
just
Barney
prove a point here.
to do a 619? Who the
Well,
fuck
Cool
said
as
that?
fuck.
To be fair, I would say my co-host and the man who runs Creation World, Travis Pointer, the only reason he watches AEW, if he watches it, is for Luchasaurus. So he would be the one person in the world that probably wanted to see Barney do a 619.
Exactly.
And if he
This
listens
was
to
for
this,
Travis.
he will confirm it. So, Sir,
This is
or
all for
Lord
Travis.
Cussalot, Lord Cussalot, because now I got another Sir in my life. I just got rid of one. He upgraded himself to a Lord. Now I got Sir Wilkins here. So Lord Cussalot, Travis Pointer, absolutely loves that. Are we spitting anything else from the show, or what are we swallowing?
What Adam Cole can't do nothing wrong for me. I think I love Adam. Even though I think he absolutely is not doing shit in AEW. That man is collecting a check, hanging out with his wife, and hanging out with his buddies.
They're not married. Why does everybody say that?
They're not married?
No.
Why? I've been thinking
To my knowledge, they are not married.
Well, you know why everyone thinks that, right? She is a motherfucking dentist and a wrestler. How has he not locked that down yet? Like, why?
I don't know.
It's a solid 2 paychecks. It's a solid 2 paychecks.
Exactly.
That's 2 incomes. He could be a stay-at-home dad.
Could be.
Mac has a point. Why is he not married to this woman?
I don't. They're probably waiting. If I were to guess.
Katie, you are 100% right. But we're thinking logically. Oh, you have an AEW contract and you a dentist? Come here, girl.
Exactly.
Let me swallow you.
And Katie, are you telling me if you had the opportunity, you would marry Britt?
I would on the drop of a dime.
Exactly. See,
I'd marry
so you
either
understand.
I understand that. Listen, just because I understand it.
If I can, because you're from Pittsburgh, Britt's from Pittsburgh, we will use this podcast to try and get you in the mix. Maybe make like a nice little throuple of Adam Cole, Katie, and Britt. See if we can work that out for you.
Adam Cole's also from Pennsylvania, so
see, there you go.
He's from Pennsylvania too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
I just learned that D'Lo Brown was from New Jersey.
Lancaster, I think. So,
how did they meet? Anybody know?
They met on Bumble. They met on a dating app.
I love how you know this.
That's how I met my wife. Not on Bumble, but on a dating app. So I just found out D'Lo was from New Jersey. Like, they literally had me believing this man was from Chicago this whole time. I've been riding for D'Lo, and then Deonna Purrazzo did an interview where she talked about D'Lo and how they're both from New Jersey, and it blew my fucking mind. Like,
did you feel betrayed?
I did.
So random. Deonna was on our show today, and she might be one of the sweetest women I've ever met in wrestling.
She seems like it.
I believe it.
And it's not like she did anything special. It was just that the energy that flowed through her body when she spoke to me and shook my hand was just of pureness.
So she was on your show that's going to come out, not the one that dropped today.
No, it's the Hog Show I was on. The Hog Show.
Yeah.
So she wrestled.
I was listening to your show today, and I was like, I'm wondering how Deonna is going to fit in with you guys talking about cultural appropriation of karate and the strong features of dark black skinned women and light skinned women. I was wondering how you guys were getting Deonna's interview in there.
And vanilla queens out here on these streets.
Yes. So you guys are cracking me up. I love your show.
Yeah, but where we at?
No, we were talking Rampage. So I'm with you. I'm going to swallow the Adam Cole Trent Seven match. And like I said, you had everyone out there. So you had Chris Statlander and the Average at Best Friends. You had Britt and the Super Duper Clit. Fucking one of the Jacksons dressed up like Jeff Hardy because that's what they do. And then they all fought. Like it was a fun match. And that you got anything else to swallow or spit from this show, Katie?
And no, I mean, swallow the Adam Cole Trent Beretta, not Trent Seven match. Incredible. I'm so happy Trent's back. I was tweeting it for weeks. I missed him so much. He's the best part of Best Friends. Let's be real here. And so him and Adam Cole, it was a great match. Obviously, everyone was going to get involved ringside because the mixed tag on Wednesday. So I had no issue with it. Great way to start. And then, not gonna lie, I barely watched Rampage after that. I did watch the tag match though because I was very invested. I knew Jungle Express or Jurassic Express was gonna win, but
Of course you were watching.
I like tag team wrestling.
She likes tag team wrestling more like she
I do.
She likes.
I don't know why I'm getting all this hate because I love Luchador Dinosaur. I'm feeling personally attacked.
It happens.
I mean, personally attack you.
No, we personally attack her all the time.
Literally all the time. It's fine. I'm used to it.
We introduced her to what movies? Like she had never seen a movie before she met me and Reek.
Shut the
So
fuck up. Yes, I have. Stop.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
So I couldn't think of anything when Matt asked me this question because I was drunk off my ass. But I was thinking about it today when I was driving home from work. Remember the Titans is probably one of my favorite movies. I also just like sport movies in general. So A League of Their Own, The Sandlot, Moneyball. Then Four Brothers, I really like. I'll watch that all the time. Fantastic movie. Anytime it's on TV, I'll watch it. I don't know. I like movies based off like real events too.
But what's your favorite movie? Because that was like a lot of
I can't pick one. I can't pick one.
My favorite movie is Tombstone, which is weird because my favorite genre of movie is horror movies, but all time it's Tombstone. So
I can't think of one that's like my favorite.
I get that. I don't have like one that's like my super favorite. I have like a solid top 5 with a rotation of one coming out. So I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I like movies, and I've seen movies before I met Matt and Reek. Assholes.
SmackDown. We got an Usos promo. They come out, they talk about the mutual respect with the New Day and brag about how they beat them. Then they tell us we got a number 1 contender fatal foursome, and they do the ring introductions for all of the tag teams, and this was actually fantastic. Usos did a great job. It's Los Lotharios versus Cesaro and Mansoor versus Jinder and Shanky versus the Viking Raiders. Viking Raiders win the fatal foursome. So we get Usos versus Viking Raiders, which I think is out of that group the only tag match I really wanted to see anyway. So that's a plus. Yeah. Naomi is still sick of Sonya's bullshit and confronts her backstage. Sonya said, "You know why I don't like you? You come in here with main character energy when everyone knows you're an extra."
Disrespectful.
That's a good bar, though. That's actually a great bar.
It really is.
It was, but Jesus Christ.
Naomi wanted to fight. Sonya's like, "I told you when I got this suit on, you can't touch me. If you do, I'll fine you. I'll take you out of the Rumble. I might even fire you, so go ahead." Naomi's going to come back later. There was the whole thing with the heat we'll get into. Sammy goes insane. So Sammy comes out. He's all pissed off about Johnny Knoxville. He's got his own. He says he's a bigger jackass than anybody, which we all agree on. And he's got some jackass stunt that, of course, he does not go through with. He punks out halfway through because he doesn't want to get hurt. And then Boogs, who looks like a jacked up, steroided up Freddie Mercury, distracts him while Nakamura shows up, gives him a shot, the Kinshasa from behind. Then Boogs picks him up, presses him over the top rope onto a crash pad because it was there, I guess, and that had to hurt. Aaliyah versus Natalia. Natalia's new gimmick is that she's going to set wrestling world records. She's got 3. She wants to add more. So her goal is to beat Aaliyah the fastest of any match, which I believe they said was like 3.75 seconds or something like that. So she comes down, stomps the shit out of Aaliyah. Aaliyah gets up. The ref's like, "We're not going to go." She's like, "No, I can go. I can go." Match starts. Aaliyah rolls up Natty. Aaliyah gets the world record for pinning Natty in 3.17 seconds. And Natty is, of course, not happy about it. No shit. We got the Lida interview, which I was super excited about because it's like I said, when I was growing up, Lida was it for me. Lida was it. Like, you take Trish, take Terry, take everyone. Lida was it for me. Now for me, it's Shotzi Blackheart, and I'm getting both of them in a Royal Rumble match at 34 years old. I couldn't be happy.
You can definitely tell what Matt's type is. we know, listeners, you can just definitely tell what Matt likes.
There's no question about it. So Lita says she's got one run left in her. She says she's going to win, go on a main event. And then out comes Charlotte with her typical bullshit of can't let anyone have the spotlight. She's taking over the interview, runs her mouth, talks about how she retired Lita's best friend and she's going to retire Lita too. And Lita's like, all right, cool. Goes to hit her. Charlotte flinches. Charlotte gets up, takes a really shitty twist of fate that you could tell Charlotte didn't want to take. Typical Charlotte shit. Sheamus defeated Ricochet in another banger because for whatever reason, Sheamus is just like the greatest match producer WWE has. Like, it doesn't matter who you give Sheamus, he is on any random SmackDown main event or Raw, just pull out a random great match out of his ass for no fucking reason. So Adam comes in because Naomi came back, saw that Sonya took her jacket off because it was hot in the office. Sonya's like, all right, you took the jacket off. It's cool. I'm going to whoop that ass now. Adam's like, no, calm down. She's like, no, she's been fucking with me. I'm sick of her fucking with me. I had Charlotte beat. She keeps changing the rules, this and that. Adam's like, I got you. We'll give you another match, a rematch against Charlotte. And Naomi took that. And I don't understand why Naomi thinks like it's just not going to be the same shit. But okay, cool. And then the most egregious thing on SmackDown fucking happened. And that's saying a lot because brand split stuff later. Kofi Kingston loses to Madcap Moss clean in the middle of the ring. Riddick Moss pins Kofi Kingston in a singles match.
Riddick.
I don't get what they like. Yeah, okay, you're named after Vin. Like, I don't get what they give a shit about. Like, I don't get what he brings to the table that they think this guy's going to be something. The gimmick kills me. I can't stand to see him on my TV. And they got him beating former WWE champion Kofi Kingston clean in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Last but not least, we have the Seth and Roman face-to-face because WWE doesn't know how to leave people where the fuck they belong. But as much as I hate to say this, this was a really entertaining segment, even though they did it because they hate me. Roman does how he's the viral chief COVID reigns and head of the table thing that he always does. Seth says, I made you in the Shield and I can destroy you. And Roman says, listen, I didn't even want to wrestle you. You're not the top pick from Raw that I would have chose. If I could have picked a superstar to wrestle from Raw, I would have picked your wife. Maybe send your wife my way for a main event match. The Usos, what?
It's mad disrespectful, by the way.
really is. The Usos come in, try to jump Seth. Seth does all sorts of backflips and shit to get away. And that's how we go off air on SmackDown. So what were we swallowing from SmackDown? What does it sound like you would have enjoyed or you want to go check out?
Roman versus Seth. I'm totally fucking invested in that. That's definitely getting swallowed. That sounds horrible.
Get used to it. It's okay.
What's funny? I'm fucking with this Naomi and this Sonya Deville thing. It's fucking stupid, but fucking great at the same time because we all can relate in some way or another. That boss that kind of fucks with you, and then not in a good way. So I get the authority figure thing always works for me because I've always had a boss I don't like. So, and it's kind of like, you know what? Fine, you got me with your shitty storytelling and this basic ass fucking writing. I'm gonna swallow that. So you know what? I'm invested. What I'm spitting out is Riddick. That's just I don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Also, Xavier being injured. I know you didn't talk about it, but him being injured and being off of SmackDown is like, fuck. Like, you just won King of the Ring. And it's like, you're like gone. What is it? I think he said he was gone for 6 to 8 weeks or something. It's nothing major, but it's still like you're out and you're King of the Ring winner. What are we doing right now? Not your fault, obviously, but it still fucking sucks like a shit ton of turds. What else? I'm in between when it comes to Nakamura and Homeboy. Booth? Was this Booth? Because I think that there's something there. There's actually something there, but I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. And they gave him Elias's like whole ass gimmick, in my opinion. And then, which we also gotta know where the fuck is Elias. And because he died, but then he still hasn't come back. So yeah, that's where I'm at when it comes to SmackDown.
All right. I will agree with some of that. Like I said, it breaks my heart to do this because, again, my biggest pet peeve in the world is the fact that they can't leave Raw superstars on Raw and SmackDown superstars on SmackDown throughout the year and then promote shit as the one time a year they meet when it's not fucking true, neither here nor there. But this face-to-face and the shots fired were fantastic. So definitely swallowing Seth and Roman's face-to-face. Again, I agree with you. Something about this, like I want to see Naomi whoop Sonya's ass. They've got me invested. I really just want to see it happen. I don't know how much longer they can tease me with it and dangle it in front of my face and not give it to me before I get tired of it. So you better get on it. But I still just want to see Naomi go in there and beat the living dog shit out of Sonya. I'm swallowing Lita being back on my TV because Lita was back on my TV.
It is what it is on that one.
Yeah. And then the Usos promo coming out, doing the ring announcement for the Fatal Foursome. Love that. Swallowing that. They were entertaining shit. Why do you keep what?
It's not a Fatal Foursome. Stop it.
It's 100% a Fatal Foursome. I don't see the problem here.
It's not.
This is Smackin' and Raw terminology. Like, I understand that they are the super click, but here they are the super duper click. I understand that they are the best friends. Here they are the average at best friends. You call it a Fatal Four-Way. I call it a Fatal Foursome. This is how
I know
all of the time, Katie. I don't know why this still surprises you.
I don't either.
Just like you love Joe and Gacy.
Shut up. I do
like Joe Gacy. I actually am a fan. I liked him since he was on the Indies. Homie's talented. Homie is definitely fucking talented. But that's a different conversation, a different episode, different show.
You got anything you're swallowing?
Usos in general, Roman and Seth, obviously, Lita being back. She was my favorite wrestler growing up in general. I fucking love Lita. Seeing her back, she still looks incredible, which is crazy. And she's gonna be in the Rumble. She deserves one more Mania match. I don't care who the fuck it's with. Fuck, put her against Bayley. I'd be down for that match. She deserves one more Mania match. She should be back soon.
Probably Rumble. She's probably gonna be one of the surprise
Rumble.
returns.
You know, since they only have like fucking 7 spots left.
Do you think Jericho's coming to the Rumble? I know this is a little off subject.
No
chance.
Like, I know there's a forbidden door, and it's kind of like I don't see anyone from AEW coming over. I really don't.
No.
Really? Why not?
Because I don't think Vince is going to do that. Like, I said this. Like, I understand Mickey James. I understand why Mickey agreed to do it, and I understand why WWE is doing that and why they promoted it. That makes sense to me. But there are, Dean Ambrose, that whole thing over there and all of that, Vince is not going to let these people come over, and he's definitely not putting anyone over that isn't WWE. Like, everyone's like, oh, we can get this, and this guy can. I'm like, yeah, that's great. They can come over, but Vince is just going to beat them because that's what Vince does. He's not going to let any of these wrestlers from Ring of Honor or Impact or AEW come over and get a win in his house. It's not going to happen. So, like,
that's true. I can. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else, Katie?
Swallowing Naomi. Basically, she's gonna beat the shit out of Sonya. Now, someone who loves Sonya, she's got it coming, and I can't wait. So,
I'm gonna spit Kofi Madcap Moss because fuck that
100%.
bullshit.
Yeah, we're all with you on that one.
Yeah, and then I don't know if I'm gonna gargle undecidedly on Aaliyah and Natalia because as much as I like to see Natalia just take that L and get beat, they also talked about how Aaliyah kind of puked in the ring before the match, and they're not really doing her any favors. So like, overall, well, I know you haven't watched it yet. Oh, go ahead. You got
I have a few spits. Excuse me. Charlotte, fucking take the bump. Holy shit, it is not hard. She doesn't take it from anyone. I saw someone tweet, they were like, she hasn't taken a bump like from any of the legends, and someone was like, Michelle McCool needs to just kick her straight in the fucking face, and I agree wholeheartedly. Also, where the fuck is Xylee? Where is my goddess at? You show her once, and then you take it away from me.
Didn't she help Naomi?
Yeah.
I think that was the second time that they took her off TV.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I need a soundbite.
Young Kings Wrestling's not here. We do need Xylee's thighs back on SmackDown. That is 100% for sure.
Yes. I'm mad.
Xylee is respectfully delicious.
Yes.
I look respectfully and disrespectfully. So
I mean, Katie regularly tweets out that she wants Xylee to kick her in the face. So
yep.
Yeah. And she has potential to do some dope shit. They did it's crazy how much money, I don't know how much money they spend, but they do like these massive packages and then the person's not on TV anymore. It's like,
and she has the best like entrance like graphic thing.
Yeah, it's pretty badass, but
I'm so annoyed. Just bring back Xylee.
But then creator probably went, I don't have nothing for you. You can go sit down back in catering.
Fucking let's move on to another show, please.
Well, overall, SmackDown spit or swallow.
I'm gonna swallow.
Yeah, I'm still riding that high from Monday Night Raw, so I'm gonna let this one slide. I'm gonna swallow as well because, like I said, despite my feelings about it, it was entertaining. So I'm gonna roll with you on that. All right, NXT Raw or Dynamite? Where are we going?
Let's go NXT. Let's go to Dynamite to stay in like order.
Reverse order. All right. Kick it off with a promo from the Undefined Erection. It's story time with Adam Cole, but he never tells a story. The Young Bucks interrupt, complain that Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are there. Kyle doesn't seem very happy that the Young Bucks showed up in the first place. They kind of go back and forth about who's the better team. Average at best friends, hear their name called, so they decide to come out and join the party. We get a big brawl. Cole ends up low blowing Cassidy in the ring. Statlander comes down and gets in between them. And then here comes Britt. For the first time, their relationship is canon on TV. She takes out Chris Statlander. And then as the Bucks go in to kiss Adam Cole, she gets in between them and she plants one on Adam for the TV to make all the crowd happy. Got to give them what they want, right? Isn't that the best friends catchphrase? Got to give them what they want. CM Punk defeats Wardlow. Dude, Wardlow wrecked Punk this entire match. And MJF wouldn't let him get the win, just kept telling him, do it again, powerbomb him. And then, of course, in the end, there's an inside roll-up. Punk gets the win and gets out of there. And MJF still does not understand that he cannot put his hands on this man the way he does, because one of these times he's going to get his teeth knocked down his throat and it's not going to be pretty. Like, you cannot keep fucking with this man and talking to him that way. I don't know why he hasn't done it already. Hobbs loses to Martin because Jay Lethal came out, ends up taking out Ricky Starks, helping Martin get the win. Jericho has an interview. Kingston's blaming Jericho for Proud and Powerful not being tag champs. This whole thing's still going on of basically who's going to be the new leader of the Inner Circle since Hager's gone. We got a Hangman promo. He says he wants a new challenger. Dan Lambert comes out, spends way too much time talking about what a real fucking cowboy is. Like, get the fuck out of here. But then puts over Hangman. And then out comes Lance Archer, who wrecks Hangman Adam Page and looks to be his next challenger for the title because he's done shit that makes sense to put him where he needs to be because he's been around and won matches on AEW TV, right? Shida loses to Deeb by ref stoppage. The Deeb decides to take out Shida's knee both before and after the match with the kendo stick. Diva's carried out, or Cheetah's carried out by Tay Conti. Jurassic Express have an interview, which set up the match for Rampage with Tiny Hands and his sidekick. Matt Hardy has a match with Penta. He loses. Malachi comes down, attacks Penta. The Varsity Blondes get involved and attack him. Lights go out. Lights come on. And it's Brody King. And the House of Black is one member stronger. He wrecks everybody. Chris and Layla have issues backstage. Red Velvet says, you guys need to get your shit together. We got a match on Rampage, which they lost because Layla's on some bullshit. The Acclaimed defeat Bear Country. Sting and Darby come out and take the Acclaimed out after the match. Pac has a video package. I guess he's coming back. Like, I feel like every 6 months, Pac has a new video package of him returning, and I don't know where the fuck he's been going. Like, every 6 months is just like, here's Pac again. Remember him? And then he'll be back for a couple weeks, and then he's gone. What?
Well, he wasn't allowed in the country for a solid few months, so that's why we were getting video packages for a while.
But tell me I'm not wrong. Since the inception of
you're
AEW,
you're 100% correct.
Pac has existed and then disappeared, and then there's a video package, and then he exists again.
I understand, and I agree with you. I'm just explaining one of the disappearances.
He's kind of like Goku. You know, when Goku like disappears for like a good like 15 episodes, and because he's like he's either dead or training. So I think that's who Pac is. Pac is like,
so you're saying Pac is a terrible father?
He probably is. I don't know.
Because Goku is a terrible father.
Well, Pac is a wrestler, so he probably is a terrible father. Most wrestlers are terrible.
Fair enough. We did get a Matt Hardy interview where he talks about something having to change. Maybe he's got to focus on himself. Andrade comes in, says he's going to talk some business, man to man, not in front of the cameras. So we'll see where that goes. And then in our main event, Sammy Guevara defeats Daniel Garcia with Eddie Kingston and Jericho arguing about who's going to be in Sammy's corner.
Sammy looked horrible in that match.
Yeah. 2.0 jump Sammy and Jericho, and then Kingston run in, they fight, and then him and Jericho argue some more. But yeah, no, Sammy looked real bad.
I don't know what was wrong with him either, because he's usually good for a good match. I don't know if he's been if him and Tay have been having too much sex and he just got tired. All
right, so I need the IWC to stop blaming Tay Conti for the end of Sammy Guevara's relationship. Like, they broke up back in October. You do not know. Like, I understand why you would think Tay Conti was the end of that relationship, because Tay Conti looks like she could be the end of a lot of relationships. I'm not going to, when you look at her, you're like, I understand why you
broke up in October.
Yeah.
When did he ask her to marry her? Was it October?
I think they got engaged, and then it was probably like a month or two after that. Then they broke it off. They kept it on the down low.
That long ago they got he did the engagement on Dynamite.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, she went fast.
It kills me that every time somebody starts fucking somebody else, it's always, oh, you're a home wrecker, you ruined their marriage, like Corey and fucking Carmella.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Like,
yeah.
Well, people don't understand about people move on quickly.
Yeah.
And it is possible to find somebody else that you like after you're done with one person, but people don't understand that. A lot of people who do say that aren't the people who seen the opposite sex naked or the same sex naked
in person.
Yeah, in person. Yeah, in person.
As you know, where we're at, you can see a lot of naked people all the time.
Yeah. Keyword in person. But yeah, Sammy didn't look that great, but to go off the show, I really like the Claim and Sting and Darby. I thought it was kind of cool. Like, it's, they're giving Acclaim something to do, and another tag team of not the usual tag team that they use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spinning, I'm tired of Andrade. I think his gimmick, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. It's like, bruh, figure something out. But it's really bad in my opinion. What else? I don't like this interim TNT champion. I think it's
No.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's not, because he's literally coming back next week. They act like he has cancer or something. Like he had disappeared for like months on top of months. He's coming back in a week and a half, 2 weeks. Like, what was the
he's coming back next week? Like,
yeah, like he
had COVID.
Yeah, and it can be deadly with COVID, but he's fine. He's fucking fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my biggest things. What else would I actually like swallow? I think that was it for the most part for me.
See, for me,
I watched Dynamite from the beginning to the end.
I've got to swallow my boy Malachi Black.
Deep and yes, I was gonna get to that. Deep and why did I forget?
Sheeta.
Huh? Sheeta. They've been putting on some good fucking matches the past like whatever time that they've been wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been enjoying the shit out of that. And Deep put on like a pretty great interview with JR, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Really fucking good. Like I'm really swallowing that. And I like Brody King and Malachi Black being together. I mean, they did it in PWG, right? They were like a team.
Yeah, they're the current PWG tag team champions.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it works, and you know, like AEW is the multiverse of independent wrestling. So you know, let it rock out. Let it rock out.
Yeah, they can't have enough stables or tag teams over there. So
yeah, of course not. They got to keep it canon. They got to keep it canon with the multiverse of wrestling. But I love the fact that they mention WWE shit. And
I do too.
Because it kind of makes sense why they do it. And they don't ignore the fact that these people came from WWE, like the buckle bomb thing with Sting. Like, you know, it happened. Mm-hmm. What about you guys,
Katie?
Do you want me to do spits or swallows first?
Swallows. Always swallow first.
Anyways, Deeb and Sheeta, always. They're fantastic together. Deeb is on. I've always said that like Deeb is very under appreciated for all the shit she has done in and out of the ring. So the fact that now they're utilizing her properly, and she's a fantastic heel, I have a feeling she'll end up like, if she doesn't win the Owens Cup, I'll be very surprised. I'll just say that. Malachi Black, obviously, everything with that. We've been teased with the House of Black gaining new members and everything. Brody King finally shows up. Julia Hart's next. Like, she's turning. She'll probably turn this upcoming week when they have a match against the Varsity Blondes. Mm-hmm. I've predicted one thing right on this show, so I'm gonna see if I can keep that going. Which I know the thing I predicted Matt was happy about. So
I was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did you predict?
Oh, we'll
talk about it when we get to Raw.
We'll talk about it.
Well, he submits on that one. Good job, guys.
Everything Adam Cole and Britt Baker, because I love me some Adam Cole and Britt Baker, obviously. And I like that you're utilizing the majority of the people on the roster and engrossing them in a feud. Plus you have the inner feud of Red Dragon and Bucks, which makes sense because they both want Adam Cole, who doesn't. Yeah. So it makes sense.
Ooh, spicy.
Do I want to swallow anything else? I don't think so.
Okay. Again, Malachi and Brody King, just because of that. If Julia Hart doesn't lose her other eye, then I need her to dye her hair black when she joins the House of Black. You cannot be blonde from the Varsity Blondes and go to the House of Black and still be a blonde. It's not going to work for me. So you're going to have to change that up. Britt Baker, like you said, now becoming the de facto leader of the Super Duper Clit. Just came in and just took Adam Cole's whole role. I'm happy that they're not cucking Adam Cole with Tony Schiavone anymore. Like, just making him sit there and watch as Tony creeps on his girl in like the worst, most disgusting ways, and he just had to sit there and take it. I'm swallowing CM Punk versus Wardlow because somebody actually posted, they did this really cool thing where they posted this clip of someone asking Bret Hart who they thought the greatest wrestler was besides himself, and he said CM Punk, and they showed all of the spots that Bret Hart uses in his matches that CM Punk used in his match with Wardlow, in like a side-by-side comparison. That was really cool. Also, he's from Chicago, so you know, my guy. Sheeta and Deeb, absolutely. That feud's been fantastic. They've made Serena Deeb look like a bigger star than she looked at any point in anything she did with WWE. So props to them on that. And Sheeta's fantastic as well. And that's about it. What are we spitting?
Again, the interim TNT champion, there was no fucking point. Kingston and Jericho basically arguing over Proud and Powerful. Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz are so much better than both of these fuckers at this point. Let them go for the tag team gold like they should be. But no, they're stuck in this bullshit again. Anything Dan Lambert, because fuck him.
Why is this segment so long?
That's exactly. He drags on too fucking long. Like, there's no point. I will say I'm intrigued with Archer and Hangman just because, I mean, the Hangman usually faces opponents who are like smaller than him or about his size, and Lance Archer's bigger. So I'm intrigued. I'm not like super invested. I'll give it a shot, but so I'll guess I'll gargle that. Spitting the Acclaimed in general, I can't get behind them. I don't know.
Understandable.
I can't believe Jizzy invented gargling undecidedly. We were talking about something. She's like, can I just gargle that shit? And I'm like, yeah, you can gargle undecidedly. So Jizzy created that on the show, and then she was supposed to be here and didn't show up. And I have to say that because when she listens back, she'll know that I'm giving her shit for bailing on me after I talked to her earlier today. So Jizzy, you're in trouble. Yeah, I'm with you on all that stuff. Dan Lambert, pain in the ass. I'm not feeling anything with Jericho and Eddie Kingston. I'd much rather see Proud and Powerful with Kingston. Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
Jericho fucked that whole thing up.
They're trying to do, maybe.
Yeah, but Jericho's just still in the picture. Just we're done. We're done with Jericho. We're done.
And I don't need Sammy involved at all. Just let Sammy go out on his own and do his own thing, and hopefully have better matches than he had in the main event.
It was bad.
And then Andrade, because what the fuck are you doing with Andrade? Like, what? This man is so fucking talented, and you've got him like the Malachi Black stuff. I thought was kind of cool because they had that history in NXT and everything like that. So that, and they've got like that Zelina Vega link. So like, cool. But now he's team like the HFO sucks. The Hardy family office is terrible. Why would you put him into that and make him involved in that? Like, no, don't do this to that man. Dynamite overall, spit or swallow.
I'm just gonna fuck. I'll swallow it.
I almost swallow, but I spit it out.
Okay.
Something was missing.
I feel that, and that, you know, AEW books main events weird anyway. Like, there's stuff that I feel like they should have put in the main event that they don't. So it always kind of makes the show feel weird. I'm swallowing just based off the first hour of the show. It was good enough for me to, you know, swallow everything else that came in the second half. NXT, the big bad booty breaker does a promo, pays Ciampa his respects, says anyone that wants to step to him better step their game up because he's not dicking around anymore. Then we've got the battle for Elektra's love box. Zion Quinn and Santos Escobar. The winner leaves with Elektra, and Elektra lets us know that she's leaving with Santos because she made her choice. kicked poor Zion right in the dick from behind. Not even nice. Costing him the match. I don't know why he keeps putting up with this shit. My boy Tony D has a promo, talks about Petey, says Petey doesn't know when to quit, and tonight he's going to learn. Mandy Rose has a vignette / bikini photo shoot that goes on throughout the night that you can put on my TV anytime. I love what they've been doing with Mandy Rose, and the fact that they've kind of taken this whole God's greatest creation and everything and stuck with that. Like, that's still who she is, but also focused on the fact that she is still a wrestler and showcased that as well, which they had a really hard time getting out when she was just the girl that fucking Corey Graves jerked off about on commentary for months on end. Cameron Grimes defeats David Kemp. Bivens comes out doing some scouting because who knows what the fuck's going on with Roddy now that they killed NXT Black and Gold. Speaking of Katie's favorite wrestlers, Joe Wayne Gacy and his Gimp are in the Dusty Classic, spreading the good word of inclusivity. Malik Blade and Idris Enofe defeat Joe Wayne Gacy and his Gimp because Harland can't keep his anger in check and gets them disqualified from the match and beats the shit out of them. We got an Imperium video package. Walter's coming to the US. Walter's coming to NXT. Like that's what it is. They do the whole "we are better than you" package. Nothing we haven't seen new, but yay, Walter. Tony D defeats Pete Dunne in a crowbar on a pole match, and Petey ends up sleeping with the fishes. Tony knocked him right in the mouth with that crowbar, and I loved every second of it. And I love Pete Dunne. Indy Persia and Wendy Cho defeat the Acid Trip and Amari Miller. Wendy actually showed out in a onesie. Like, shout out to Karen Q for coming out there in a onesie and putting on a show. I 100% believe that this was like she fell asleep during a meeting or some shit. And they're like, all right, we're going to get you back. Your new character is a sleepy bitch in a onesie, and she's making it work. MSK, Match Shitty Kids, find the Dusty Cup. Dakota shows up, gets all excited, says she's got to find a partner. At this point, no one in their right fucking mind is teaming with Dakota Kai ever. Kaylee Ray's pissed that Mandy is doing bikini photo shoots and not defending the title, so she starts breaking shit with a baseball bat. Solo Sikoa and Boa ends in a double count out, and then they brawl backstage to the point that Bukaki Boa shows up after hitting Solo with a fireball in the face and takes him out. Mello and Trick put Carmelo over big. This was a fantastic promo from these two, and I am going to hate when the IWC starts talking about them the way they did Hit Row, because these guys are fucking stars, just like Hit Row was. But we know how this is going to go because we know how the IWC is. AJ's music hits. Mello does not look happy. I'd love to see Mello versus AJ. Like, I know I say things about I'm not wanting to see people off brand and shit like that, but if you're already going to put him down there with Grayson Waller, who I don't give two shits about, give me AJ versus Mello. I'll take that all day. And AJ defeats Waller, brings back LA Knight, and LA Knight beats the dog shit out of Grayson Waller. I didn't give two shits about LA Knight until War Games. Now I love LA Knight. Like, I don't know how you guys turned me around on him so quick, but more LA Knight, please. What are we swallowing from NXT?
Katie, you can go. I've been going first.
Oh, okay. Tony D'Angelo, always. That match was incredible. I love Pete Dunne. Like, I'm the same way Matt is. Like, I fucking love Tony D'Angelo. I love Pete Dunne. The match was incredible. One step closer to Heyman on a pool match. I'm gonna get it eventually. I'm telling you, somehow I'm gonna get it. Santos first, Zion Quinn for Elektra's love.
Box.
Every person in that, beautiful. I loved it. I was very happy. I was kind of pissed Zion lost, but I had a feeling she was going to stick with the family of La Familia, so whatever, that's fine. I'll be bitter. Mandy Rose, all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Kaylee Ray going after Mandy, I'm down. That's going to be a hell of a match when it happens. It'll probably take a while. The women's tag match, because I was actually very surprised at how well it was. She really said, "I'm gonna wear a onesie, kick ass." I mad respect. I feel like there's not a lot of even like spitting, but I agree with Matt with LA Knight. I hated LA Knight in the beginning. I was like, who fucks this guy? What is he doing? What is his purpose? Then War Games happened, and I was a fan. And now I'm like, more LA Knight. Again, I don't know what they did, but it worked. And of course, Mello and Trick is fucking money because Mello don't miss. So
we all know about how you feel about Mello. Young Kings Wrestling outed you.
No. They said it, and then I tweeted something and then got outed. I didn't listen to their episode yet because it wasn't out. But I did get called out.
What do you got, Sir Wilkins?
I totally love Imperium and Walter coming through like doing the do. I'm definitely swallowing that. Trick and Mello, absolutely amazing. Like just fucking great. Mandy, I will swallow her bathwater. So she just does nothing wrong. And when it comes to LA Knight, I've always been a fan of LA Knight. LA Knight is very throwback to me. Like his whole look and his whole like the way he wrestles is very like we talked about our young years in watching wrestling, like Ruthless Aggression era, Attitude era. So he reminds me of that era very much so. So I've always been a fan. And what else? Just the show was pretty good in general. I'm not a huge fan of NXT 2.0. I've been slowly coming around towards it, but it's been getting better slowly. When I was like, oh, okay, I see it. The first month or two it was just hard to watch for me. I was like, what is this shit? This is not good. But then now I think they found a little groove of where they're going at. But those are the things that I would swallow in general when it comes to NXT 2.0.
Let me just say, I agree with everything you guys said. I'm pretty much, there's only two things I'm spitting. I'm pretty much swallowing the rest of the show. But specifically Zion Quinn and Elektra, because Zion went out there and Elektra said, let me suck that dick from the back. Zion turned around and then she kicked him in the balls. I felt betrayed for him. Like, that hurt me. It really did. And I'm very conflicted about how I'm going to go forward with her and this whole thing, because that is a dirty betrayal, and I am not okay. But yeah, no, I'm swallowing everything. Spits, Matt Shitty Kids, every time they're on my TV. If you are associated with Matt Riddle, you are getting spit. And Grayson Waller, because I don't give a shit about Grayson Waller. Like, and here's the thing. The match was good. Like, it was a good match, exactly. But AJ makes everyone look good. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a bad AJ Styles match. You could have put anyone in there with AJ Styles and it probably still would have came out good. He did not impress me in War Games. He's entertaining on the mic. He's just not doing it for me. I don't give two shits about Grayson Waller. So
I gotta also swallow Karen Q for like being there for that long in NXT and not getting missed. You gotta give her some type of props. Whatever she's doing something right. That because she's how many years has it been?
No, I have no idea.
It's been a while.
It's probably been 4 or 5.
Yeah, because I remember when she first time I was like, holy shit, like yeah.
Well, how long has it been since we've had a Mae Young Classic? Because she was in the Mae Young Classic, and that was like the last time we saw her until Mei Ying showed up.
4 years? It has to be 4 or 5.
Yeah. They didn't. I know they didn't do one for COVID, and I don't think they did one in 2019 either. So
no, it has to be 4 or 5.
Yeah, the last one was 2018.
Yep. So
yeah.
Damn. You guys spitting anything from NXT?
Joe and Gacy.
Man,
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I actually enjoyed it. Like I told you guys.
I told you. I like creepy characters and shit like that, but he is legit reminds me of a pedophile, and I don't like it.
Wow.
You have come on here repeatedly and said he has a van parked outside ready to steal children.
So I've ruined this for you. But here's the thing. Again, I'm from the Chicagoland area. You cannot come out with a last name Gacy and not expect me to relate you to John Wayne Gacy, which is why I call him Joe Wayne Gacy. And that being the case, and him being this creepy character who's constantly just being the way he is, I advocated for the fact that he should have hosted Halloween Havoc from the parking lot with an unmarked white van, and Harlan should have been inside just kidnapping motherfuckers. Like,
he just like genuinely gives me the creeps. And this is coming from someone who like loves learning about serial kills and shit. Like, no, no, I don't want it. I don't like him.
I forgot, props to Braun Breaker for his opening promo as champ, first one, and mentioning the fact that his dad was there to watch his very first match live for the first time since they didn't show it. So
yeah.
NXT overall.
Incredible.
Spit or swallow?
Swallow.
Swallow.
This is gonna be a tough week. All right, let's get into Monday Night Raw. So we got a Brock Lesnar promo. Bobby calmly explains to Cedric and Shelton that basically they're trash and he doesn't need them. Brock starts speaking. Hurt Business interrupts. Bobby says it's an honor to tell you that for 20 years you've been a bitch and you've been hiding from me. Brock says, I was busy in the main event. If you had maybe got there, we might have seen each other, but I didn't know who the fuck you were till last week. Bobby calls Brock a comedian. Brock calls Bobby a wannabe Brock Lesnar. And then Shelton and Cedric come out, attack, and then get wrecked by Bobby after Bobby lost a dick measuring contest. Ladies and gentlemen, never attack a man who just lost a dick measuring contest. He has nothing left to lose. This was the case with Bobby Lashley. Highlight of my week, new WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, the Alpha Academy. Matt Riddle has been dethroned, taken down a peg. This is what Katie predicted for me last week. I was all upset, and she's like, well, they could still lose next week. And I'm like, they're not going to lose. And then they did, and it brought joy to my life. Then Randy explains to Riddle basically how tag teams work and draws notes on his hands before the match because the guy's an idiot. They end up losing. Randy takes the loss, and someone compared the fact that Randy lost the World Heavyweight title to Mark Henry with the same move that Otis beat him with in this match for him to lose the tag team titles. Nice little thing there, because you know how us wrestling fans are. They fucking notice everything. Damian Priest and the Street Profits defeat Rudolph and Apollo. Seth promo says he's going to win the Royal Rumble, takes shots at Paul, says he did it all by himself. He didn't need a Paul Heyman to get where he is. Big E interrupts, tells Seth that he's betting on him so that when he wins the Royal Rumble, he can tap that ass at Mania and beat him the same way he beat him for the NXT title back in the day. Seth says he can't beat him, and he says, well, let's find out tonight. We get the match, and Seth beats Big E, which kind of sucked, but I get it. That's the match you're going with. You don't want him losing before going against Roman. Super Brutality breaks up, and it was super fucking brutal. Like, Nikki did not take this well. It was the, typical, it's not you, it's me. I want to move on. Let's see other people. And Nikki just did not handle it well at all. Went from Nikki Ash to a full-blown villain. So now I'm going to call her Nikki FBV. That's some 24/7 nonsense. Dana begs Omos for Reggie's life because Omos was literally choking him like David Carradine. Not a good sight. Omos then has a squash match. We got cutting edge with Beth, and we got cutting edge with Beth. I was not happy about this just because this whole feud has been them doing these talk shows, but this was actually really fun and entertaining. Edge gives us Beth Phoenix history lesson while also fetishizing her powerful thighs. I really thought, like, after Maurice and Miz came out, there was going to be some sort of wife swap situation here. Like, there was a lot of flirting and back and forth going on. Beth teases a not so live sex celebration after the show. Miz goes off talking about Maurice beating Beth, kind of puts Maurice out there, and Maurice is like, fuck this, and bails. Like, I didn't agree to fight her. What the fuck are you doing? I was all good with it. AJ versus Theory ends in DQ because Waller attacks him to set up for that match that we talked about. Then we got Alexa Bliss in recovery. Just crazy Alexa. Everyone's like, I want Alexa to come back as, the old Alexa. And I love this fucking gimmick. I loved this whole fucking thing. I know this is in Alexa's wheelhouse and this is what she loves to do. So I'm happy to see it. She does not take confronting the loss of Lily very well, loses her shit and starts breaking everything, runs off the therapist. We got a Becky promo, which is basically the same shit, different Elton John cosplay. And then in our main event, Liv and Bianca lose to Doudrop, which blew my fucking mind. So we're going to get, Becky screwed Bianca, but we are going to get Double D versus Becky. Becky goes for a manhandle slam. It can't pick her up. So we'll see where this goes. Monday Night Raw. Outside of RK Bro losing the tag team titles, what are we swallowing?
I like Doudrop winning. I'll swallow that one. I like Doudrop winning, something different. We all know. For me, it looks like they're just setting up Bianca and Becky for a rematch, and they're just keeping Bianca strong. And then Doudrop is definitely the placeholder right now until like Mania, I guess. Because Mania was, what is it, 2 months away after February, March.
Yeah,
it's like April. Yeah,
it's in April. It's in April. Or is it March?
It's the beginning of April.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's right around the corner for the most part. That's one thing AJ versus Theory, I'm with it because I just see that they're putting a rocket ship on Theory's back and like, yo, you're getting the fuck up out of here because you look like John Cena 2.0 but younger. That's every time I see him, I was like, I know Vince loves them. Quick story. He had wrestled at House of Glory, and Red saw him, was like, yeah, Vince is gonna love that guy. This is before he got signed or anything happened. He was like, Vince is gonna love him. And as you can see, Vince fucking loves him.
RN from Smack Raw said the same thing when Theory was doing the Evolve stuff and they had that Evolve show on the network.
Yeah.
When Katie was still over with Smack Raw, we were in there and RN kept saying the same shit. He's like, listen, Theory's going to be a star. WWE signs him. He's their kind of guy. He's going to be big, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I can't say he was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing I totally enjoyed was, Biggie and Seth. Seth is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. I don't know if I've said this already, but Seth is just, I don't give a fuck what Seth does. Some shit may not hit, but to me, it fucking works. I'll take it. It's like your mom cooks the favorite meal, and that one time it cooks, it's like it's not as great as it always is, but it's still hitting. And that's Seth from you in any on all types. He's a complete scumbag, and it just fucking works when he does shit. So I'm swallowing Seth all the way with that one. That's so disgusting the way that sounded. That's mostly for the most part. I didn't like Raw too much. It was a little So I'm spitting Raw just to like, this is just to spitting Raw. Just but yeah,
you get used to it. You really do.
You do.
And to go with that theory that you were talking about, I'm gonna run it back to the Pornhub thing, which is why we do the whole spit or swallow. Is I love Gianna Michaels. She is one of my favorite porn stars. Not every video she does is fantastic, but if she's in it, I'm gonna watch it and I'm probably gonna enjoy it just because she's in it. And that's the same thing with Seth.
Yeah, Gianna Michaels is a legend, though. A legend.
Yeah, she's the Seth Rollins of Pornhub in this case.
Yeah. Gianna Michaels is big time.
We almost got Sarah J on here. Almost. I'm still hoping. So
I forgot about that.
Sarah J. I think the list is Gianna Michaels, Sarah J, Lisa Ann. Those are like my vanilla queens when I was growing up.
I'll give you Lisa Ann. I really like La Serena 69 lately, but that's neither here nor there. We had to educate Vince on that one. He was missing out. So My co-host Vince was not familiar with La Serena 69. And if you're not
I
either,
don't know who that is. I think I have to
definitely go check that out when the show ends. Definitely worth a watch. I'm with you on. I mean, again, I'm swallowing Alexa. I love that gimmick. I love the whole horror movie stuff, the creepy shit. Like Bray was my shit. I don't look at it as they gave Bray's character to her. They're not the same. They're adjacent. So I enjoy the shit out of that. Obviously, RK Bro losing the tag team titles is the whole reason I'm spitting or swallowing Raw, and probably why Raw was the most enjoyable Raw I've seen in a very long time. And then again, Biggie and Seth, like they tear it down. So.
Oh yeah, hands down. Yeah, Biggie, Seth, obviously. I'm the same with Alexa. Like, I didn't want the goddess or anything else. Like, I like this version of Alexa Bliss, and it's probably the most entertained I've been by Alexa Bliss in a long time when she's this character. So I'm happy she's still like this. I'm also going to swallow Dewdrop winning because I did not expect it. And I'm not mad at it because that means we're getting Bianca and Liv in the Rumble. More than likely. It wasn't announced yet, but like, it's got to fucking happen. RK Bro losing. You're welcome. You're welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Because again, I'm also not a fan of Riddle. I love Randy. He shouldn't be with Riddle anymore. Like, we're done with this. He should have been done with this a long time ago. Bobby and Brock.
Yeah.
All that shit in the beginning.
Definitely following that. I'm sorry about that.
I just remembered too. So like that, it happens all the time. No, Bobby and Brock is something we've wanted, and Bobby has come on record and said multiple times that he wanted this match with Brock. Should it be for the title? I don't think so. That's neither here nor there. But we're finally getting this match. And Brock, Ponytail Brock is the best version of Brock. I don't know how many weeks in a row I have to fucking say this. This is the best version of Brock Lesnar. He's having a fun ass time. He's actually talking for himself, and Paul's kind of just there.
Mm-hmm.
What more can we ask for? And he's like showing up every week. It's a new fucking person. I can't be mad.
He's actually working.
I know. Who would have thought? Crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. And like I said, overall, I am swallowing Monday Night Raw.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I am too.
All right. So then the question is, we'll start with Sir Wilkins. What was your favorite show you watched this week?
Favorite show I watched this week was Raw. It was Raw, but it's weird because it was really only because of that Brock and Bobby segment. Because for me, it was just like, this is good shit. This is what wrestling's about. Like, these great promos, you're anticipating a match. You have two larger than life characters, and you can't wait for them to go head to head.
Mm-hmm.
That's, for me, is like, okay, this is what wrestling's about. So,
I agree. That on top of RK Bro losing is why Raw is my favorite show. Literally, that, like, it started my week out really nice. Like, the rest of the week, like, I think I swallowed everything just because I enjoyed wrestling all week because Raw started out really great for me. So I'm swallowing one. Raw's my favorite show this
even
week.
though I did, but for some reason I didn't like the whole show, but it was just that one segment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even think I spit Raw out, but I just love that segment. I watched it like 6 times already.
And when you see Seth versus Roman on the mic, it may change you, but right now this is probably your favorite segment of the week.
Yeah.
It did the most for you. I got you, Katie.
Okay, well, I lose anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter what I say. But
Sure
I was gonna say NXT. I spit 2 things from NXT. NXT was very good this week.
To be fair,
close second, but If RK Bro would have fucking won, you know damn well you would have chose NXT.
100%.
I know this man too well.
100%.
Been on here too many times.
That absolutely. If it was not for RK Bro losing, NXT would have been my favorite show of the week. But that is not the case. So, per the Jobbeteers podcast, Sir Wilkins, and the Smackin' Raw podcast, Raw was the best show of the week. Also, because I didn't do it at the beginning of the show, and you have it on, ladies and gentlemen, Young Kings Wrestling has those awesome NWO style Black Lives Matter t-shirts. You guys can go get those from What a Maneuver. It's the pin tweet at Matt Ritter in my bio on Twitter. So go check that out. The money that is received from those shirts is put into a fund and then donated directly to the people who are affected by racial injustice and police brutality through their GoFundMes, their Kickstarters, things like that. So not only are you getting a dope ass shirt, but the money is going to a good cause. It is in no way, shape, or form affiliated with the Black Lives Matter organization. This is 100% Reek and TC doing their thing, and they support us. We support them. So we ask you that you go put your money there and do that. Sir Wilkins, let everyone know about Jobbeteers, the episode you guys just dropped, where they can find you guys, what you got going on.
My name is Sir Wilkins of the Jobbeteers podcast. I am 1/3 of the Jobbeteers podcast. You can find the Jobbeteers podcast on all forms of streaming service except for Pornhub, which is a great idea of having a show on. We are on YouTube. We are on, once again, on all streaming service, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Apple, all that SoundCloud. We're on all of those. We just dropped a new episode this week. We actually dropped 2 episodes this week. One episode with Myron Reed of MLW, and we just dropped our regular episode this week. If you are in the New York City, New Jersey area, we are doing a Royal Rumble viewing party. It is the 10th year anniversary of us doing viewing parties in New York City. So 10 years in the game, thumbs are bruised. That's a makeshift Lil Wayne line, but that's a here or there. But and you can find me, SIR_Wilkins, on all forms of social media. And you can find Jobbeteers on all forms of social media as well. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit. The usual metaverse of social media.
And like you said, you guys do some really cool shit out there in New York. I know we had Queen PR and Krista B on for an episode. They did, and Queen PR is always talking about the shit you guys got going on Twitter. So definitely go check that shit out. I really enjoyed working with you guys out there in New York, Jizzy, them. I'm working on getting Lovely on, so should happen soon. It's in the works. But yeah, Katie, you got stuff. You did stuff. Stuff dropped.
I do things. I have a podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at KatieRaxton13. The link tree in my bio will take you to all things She Lead Showcase. Our YouTube, twitch.tv/She Lead Showcase. Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We have a new episode of She Lead out. My Inside the Mind of with Matt, because Matt interviewed me. I was drunk the entire time. I'm surprised I didn't throw up in the episode and actually made sense. Personal compliment. But I have more lined up. Thank you. I took like 14 shots.
Oh God!
You finished the bottle. I mean,
well, it was not a full bottle. We have to specify this.
It was about half full.
I threw up later that night, but I didn't throw up on my podcast.
Oh boy!
It was not a fun night for me. But it was entertaining, or at least I hope it was for people who watch or listen to it. And then you can check out all my other interviews I've done. I've done one with Matt, the guys at Young Kings, Vince, Justin.
Okay.
I have more lined up. We have
Busy B.
Warren Hayes.
Yeah, Warren Hayes. I'm trying to be as busy as I can with my show and everything.
Jizzy.
Jizzy. I wasn't gonna name everybody. Kyle from Apron Bump. If we're just naming everybody now.
Well, here's the thing. So we talked about it. You said I love the Inside the Mind of, because it is Katie interviewing podcasters about how they got into podcasting and let everyone kind of get to know everyone outside of what you hear on the show. So she gets not real personal, but a little bit in there. And it's a really entertaining show where you get to know podcasters a little bit better. And I think she does a fantastic job. I don't know why the fuck she picked me to interview her, but we did something. We made it fun. I made her get really, really drunk and picked on her a lot. It's an entertaining listen. And you also ran through like our close little group of friends. So you're looking for other podcasters to come on and fill these spots. So if anyone wants to do an Inside of the Mind episode, definitely hit up Katie. Let her interview you. Say,
We'll talk.
No problem, Katie.
there you go.
See, Matt, I love coming on your show. you give
That's
me
why I do
guests.
this. Yeah, exactly. Help you branch out. You guys can find me on Twitter at Matt Ridders, at MATTRIDDER. Also, Twitter and Instagram, Smackin' a Raw Pod. Vince runs the Instagram. I run the Twitter. Creation World is the banner under which the Smackin' a Raw podcast exists. And there you guys can get Dungeons After Dark, super flash hero of tomorrow, the creation conversation if Travis ever brings it back, but also us. That is at facebook.com/Creation World, creationworld.com, and on Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World, THECREATIA World. We also have facebook.com/Smackin' Raw. If you're over on Facebook, you want to check that group out, come give us a listen. We are the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub. Sir Wilkins, thank you for being on tonight. I hope you had a fun time, and I hope you want to come back because I'd love to have you back.
I will come back. I did have a fun time. Sorry for the yawning. It is past.
No problem.
It's okay.
We get it.
But I really appreciate it. I had a really good time, man. Thank you for reaching out, and I'm happy to come back on again.
All right. So for the interim Pornhub Poppy, Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, and Sir Wilkins, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter. We are Smackin' a Raw, the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.